You okay, Dan?
We'll get into it. This episode of Says Who is brought to you by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That's our Patreon, where pretty much every Sunday, though not for the last couple, but trust me on this one, it happens more often than it doesn't, by a lot.
By a lot.
You get this all over again. You get me and Maureen doing a little thing we call the Town Watch, which is slightly looser, though maybe not looser than today, and usually about a half an hour, and on Sundays. And that's if you give it the $5 or $10 a month level. That $10 a month level also gets you a sticker in the month, every month without fail, because you become a member of the Says Who Sticker Club. And it doesn't matter if, for instance, I'm not home for 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks of the month. I will make sure that in the literal 12 hours that I'm home between two different trips, that those stickers are packed and shipped, because that's how important it is to me.
That's the Dan Sinker guarantee.
Sticker Club. Put it in the bank. That's how it goes. Patreon.com/sayswho.
I'm Maureen Johnson and I write books. Doo-da. If you get them, wow, so great. Yeah. Look, man, The Velvet Knife coming out in October.
Officially done?
Largely. So the copy edit's done. So this is the version that goes to the advanced reader copies.
Okay.
And then it'll come back in pages for line editing.
Yeah.
So I might,
and then the real work begins.
I have been known to edit down to the I've been known to do some terrible things, Dan. I'm just saying that there's a version that's about to go out in the advanced reader copy, and then I will continue working in the line edits, but they don't let you do too much.
I love it. I'm
a monster.
You demystify the publishing process.
Do I?
Yes. Because if you are coming into the publishing process, every publisher tells you, we need 18 months from the time we get your copy to the time the book comes out. And you, Maureen Johnson, without fail, every book proved that they need about 6 hours.
That's because there's an amazing team of editorial and production people at Harper who have learned, and then I send them gift certificates for like lunch and dinner.
Perfect.
Like I send I send Grubhub certificates with notes, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Like here, the thing is also now, like, even no matter how much the gift certificate is, it still barely covers lunch. Like we ordered a pizza the other day, and the single pizza was $44.
It was probably delicious and definitely worth it.
It was a good pizza.
Yeah, but still.
I don't know why it's $44.
Anyway, if you would like to order Maureen's books or pretty much any book, you can always go to kickbezosintheballs.org. That is our own little bookshop where we have very quick links to Maureen's books. We have links to books we've mentioned on the pod. We have all kinds of books that's available for you. And hey, you're buying things on the internet. We looped you into that thing. So why not go on over to merch.sayswhopodcast.com where we have Says Who merchandise. All kinds. Shirts, hats, mugs, other things. I don't even remember what it all is. That's how much we have. And we'll ship that stuff to you. Or you could go to shop.dansinker.com, my own little bookshop. Not my bookshop, just my own shop. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing.
Are you, Dan?
My mind.
I need to order that bright green trying hat. I have to remember to do that.
I think that there is one left, Maureen.
Really?
So I don't believe it's sold out. The bright green trying hat is a limited edition. It's only going to exist one time. And I think there's one left.
Okay.
So get that done at shop.dansinker.com. It's not a bookshop. It's just a shop.
Dan? Oh, no. Oh, he's just put his head in his hands.
I'm just so tired.
Yeah, you do look tired.
I'm just so tired.
It doesn't help that because of your setting, it looks like you've been put in like some kind, it's like a blank plasticky room, and it does look like you've been put in like some sort of facility. Like you've been
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they finally contained you and they're like, okay, we need to
Yeah.
to rebuild
It feels
him.
like I'm in that, like the plastic prison that they put Magneto in.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Oh no, they phantom zoned Dan.
The overhead
Well,
light's really nice.
yeah. It does make you look like you're about to ascend, to the.
Yeah. Yeah. It's perfect.
I'm just here in my throne, on my throne of garbage.
Just gonna take a nap.
The Rat Queen. Oh shit. He's dead. Anyone want to be this other one with me? Somebody haul him away. Take the body. Very tidy haircut on the back, though, Dan. Like it's nicely trimmed. No, he's actually dead. Oh, well. Says Who was brought to you by Dan Sinker, who died while recording Says Who. Welcome. I can't do that. See, I still have a bit of my like you have this little residual cough that sometimes you can make a funny noise. It'll start a little coughing jag. So don't do that. To Says Who, the podcast. It's not a podcast.
It's a coping strategy. I am Dan Sinker.
I'm Maureen Johnson. You're tired.
So last week we did not have an episode of Says Who because I was in Muncie, Indiana, having a research week for my book, which was from waking till collapsing, just nonstop, hanging out in libraries, hanging out with historians, walking around the town, taking in as much as I possibly could. And it was amazing, Maureen, actually. There was a moment where I was at the Indiana Historical Society. I was up to my fucking neck in Klan shit, which was grim, I will say. But I also was like, I love this. This is amazing. Work. I want to be doing this all the time. It was great. And I'd driven out there on my own. I was staying at a Home 2 Suites, not to brag or anything. It's like your home, but 2. And I was driving a Prius that I had rented because we only have one car, which was like, honestly, a godsend because gas prices are insane. And I had a little hybrid that was like, at one point I filled it up because I was like, oh, dang, I've been driving it for like from Chicago to, far eastern Indiana and all over the place and Indianapolis and back. And I'm down to 3/4 of a tank, like empty. I should probably fill it up. That's going to suck. And it turned out the tank is only 10 gallons. So I just filled 7 gallons. It was like $25. I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. But yeah, it was great. So then wrapped up, drove home on Saturday morning, got up early, got home. We filled the sticker orders. That was literally the first thing we did was print labels, label the envelopes, pack the stickers, go feed them all into the little blue mailbox because we didn't get there before the post office closed. Then we had to pack. Next morning, left for Colorado, which is where I am now. It's the kids' spring break. We're visiting with Janice's mom, who's not been doing well lately. We are actually staying in the assisted living facility that she stays in. They keep a couple of extra rooms available for family that comes to visit. So we're staying at old people's home all week. Yeah. It's wild. It's wild.
It's very white.
It's extremely white.
And is that plant's fake?
What plant are you seeing by the tree? I don't know. Hold on, let's find out. Well, I can't
Gotta
go
be.
that far because of my headphone.
It's fake.
But
It's gotta be 100%.
I'm sure it's fake.
Yeah.
I don't think they got living plants in here, but it is actually very nice. Like the facility is great, but it was so quiet last night that I had trouble sleeping because it was so quiet.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who sleeps to the sound of sirens and
Yeah.
but actually the traffic noise, because our windows are pretty good, it sort of sounds like the ocean.
Oh,
it's just
nice.
a constant.
Oh, it's like a white noise machine.
A little bit.
Oh, that's nice.
Punctuated by sirens.
I didn't sleep. So I will say that ever since that trip to the Indianapolis Historical Society, which was Thursday, which was the grimmest moment was when they brought out the big desk-sized box that was full of Klan robes. That was fucking wild. Like it was, and to be fair, that's the whole reason I'm on this fucking trip, right? Is like, it's one thing to see shit on your little computer screen or in a book or whatever, and it's a whole nother thing to be like face to face with the real actual deal, you know. But the Klan robes were a lot. They were like sweaty, you know, like they were. They had been well worn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was rough. But ever since then, every night I am having nightmares about the Klan. So that's great. So that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for me.
Okay.
So when I'm not sleeping, and when I am sleeping, I'm getting chased by the Ku Klux Klan.
And you haven't been paying attention to the news.
I have not. This is all a long explanation for why, if you're tuning in, if you're one of the few people that tunes into Says Who because we're your source of news, but I don't got it. I don't got it today.
Well, you don't have it.
Okay, you've got it though?
Well, what I have is a parable, Dan. And okay. I have a story, but I'm going to begin with a parable.
It's about a sower.
It is, well, I mean, read that. But it's going to sound, when I begin this story, you're going to think it's gross. But I promise you, it's not going to get detailed and gross. Like the worst part happens at the very beginning. This is a
really bad preamble.
This is just a really good summary of America right now. But it's told in the version. My mom and her nurse friends all had lunch the other day. She has her girl gang, and they were telling nursing stories. And this particular story was magical. So apparently when she was first a nurse, she said the doctors were treated like gods. That, you know, if you were sitting down when a doctor came to the station, you had to stand up and give them your seat. And, you know, and we were just talking about smoking in hospitals. Like, when did it stop? And she's like, well, the nurses were the nurses had to go back to the room, but the doctors would stand and smoke at the station and go over notes. Mm-hmm. And some patient rooms, patients would smoke in their rooms. And you had to mark oxygen or whatever, certain rooms they couldn't smoke in. And I said, when did that stop? And she's like, probably in the 70s. And she said, but here's a story of when the smoking had stopped. Now, apparently, and this is the only thing, it's the title alone. There was a very small and angry surgeon who was a proctologist. He was very fussy. He was my mom was he had little man syndrome. Most doctors, you just kind of held up the gown and they got in it. But he made us dress him completely and put the gloves on his, he wouldn't just put his hand into the glove. We had to do all the, he's he was annoying. She said, when you had hemorrhoid surgery back in the day, they kept you in the hospital for 5 days to recover. And you had to have a lot of bandaging. That's it. That's the worst of it. There was just a lot of bandaging, and you had to stay in the hospital.
Okay. Oh,
Apparently,
wait, this is bad part? Like,
that's it.
oh, that wasn't anything.
Okay, great. I just letting you know. So this is about butt surgery that kept you in the hospital, and they had to use a lot of bandaging or packing. Okay.
Yeah.
So they weren't supposed to be smoking, but my mom's friend, Gail, had a patient that she went to check. She's doing her rounds, and he's gone. He's not in his bed.
Okay.
And so she's kind of looking around for him, and she's like, oh, he must be in the bathroom with the door closed. And so she knocks, and it turns out what this guy has done is he just wanted to smoke. So he went, he tried to get around the rules by going into his bathroom, and he was sitting on the toilet, but like just sitting with his legs spread so he could ash into the water. Like, so that this, like, he was like, this is how I'm going to get around the ashtray problem. Like, I'm going to ash. So he's sitting there on the toilet, ashing like down. But what she notices is that there is smoke coming from his back. And what had happened was he had lit his own ass on fire with his cigarette. So she had to jump in, haul him up, pull out the bandages, and get him out of there. Now, the parable, Dan, is of a man doing something he shouldn't be doing and setting his own ass on fire in the process. And if that doesn't kind of describe where we are or what's happening, I'm not sure what does.
Yeah.
Ass on fire.
I will say, I've spent a lot of time now in the last week and a half in very red places.
Mm-hmm.
And, anyone that knows, anyone that's been around a bit, we do a fair amount of road tripping. I have spent a lot of time in fairly red places, a lot, in the last 10 years. And the usual signatories of that, like the usual signs, which are literal signs. You see Trump flags and Trump signs, and farmers will put big Trump signs on the side of their barn and all of that. Almost none, which was really surprising, actually. I was in, like I said, I was in Muncie, and I was talking with somebody at Muncie, and I was like, can you kind of break down what this place politically is today versus, in the 20s? And he said, well, we used to have a heavy industrial base, and most of that industrial base is left. And as kind of those good union jobs have left and everything like that, you've seen that, what had been a fairly democratic voting bloc, move toward Trump. And he's like, and it's all Trump, but none of it. And like driving out here to Colorado, you drive through Nebraska, and you drive through a lot of farmland, and there are a couple of barns that for the last 10 years have had Trump signs on there. As you come into Colorado, there's a patch of ranch land that always has a abandoned semi back that has a big like fetus on it, and it's saying, choose life. And then you drive a little bit further, and there's an abandoned semi that usually has a big Trump thing on it. That was gone too. Obviously, this is all anecdotal or whatever, but it did feel markedly different in terms of support for this man who's lit his ass on fire. Seems to maybe have diminished some.
Yeah, this war situation it's hard to describe it because it is so chaotic, and it's horrific. It's also chaotic, and it's also it's very weird to see them start something like this without any idea of what they seem to want.
Yeah. No idea of what they seem to want, and no sense of having gamed out possible negative implications of it. You know, I mean, I have no real belief that the base is upset about this because, you know, Trump had talked about not being an interventionist or whatever. Like, they're upset because gas is insane, you know,
Yes.
and they all drive big diesel trucks and they're suddenly spending, you know, $5-6 a gallon at least on diesel. I will also say, I don't know what gas prices are in New York, but I'm sure they're really high. They're like $4.50 crawling up on $5 in Chicago. You can definitely find places where they're $5. Out in LA, where I have family and friends, it's like $6.50. You know, Middle America, it's like $3.20. Like, I was texting with a friend who lives in LA who she had just posted some gas prices, and I kind of feel like I'm staring at gas prices and they are like war propaganda, you know, like they're keeping them low here just so that it's not as effective, but it is, like, especially with diesel is crazy expensive. But yeah, it does feel like they don't know what they're doing, which
well, if you have somebody like
the
Trump,
sort of predominant feeling of this entire administration, Trump too. They don't know what
when
they're doing.
he's talking and he's like, we don't need the Strait of Hormuz, but we need it. So we need allies to help us, but we don't need it or them. But if they helped us, that would be great because we need it. And you're like, that was all in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I do feel like this is the second time, COVID being the first, where he can't really bullshit his way out of this.
No.
You know, as much as he is an adept bullshitter, as much as he wiggles out of whatever, you know, similar to COVID, those bodies stacked up. There was no, you know, as much as he said, especially if you think about early on, where, if you remember early COVID, there was a cruise ship that was trying to dock in the U.S.
The Diamond Princess or something.
No, I
like
our numbers where they are. I don't want their numbers. And it's the same kind of thing where it's like he's trying to deny reality, but he can't really bullshit his way through this reality, and it's entirely of his own making.
Yeah. On a related note, I'll be going to Philly this week.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent.
This delayed visit that was delayed twice by me getting pneumonia. So my mother had her surgery.
Yeah.
Then both my parents got COVID and are now negative.
Yeah.
Happily. So
well, that's good.
So we are finally.
They had a fairly easy ride of it.
They did.
That's great.
I was so lucky. It was so lucky. Dan, when my father turned positive, I just kind of shook my head like, this is going to be bad. Like, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But he was okay.
Yeah.
He's tired and he's miserable, but he's okay. So enough that, for example, he wanted my mother, who just had hand surgery and had COVID, to go to the store and buy him 6 packs of Diet Coke because it was on sale. And I was like,
Perfect.
She cannot do that. You are not going to the store.
Correct.
I am going to order it for you. So I was given a list. I ordered from Giant Direct, which is their store. I got their discount. I got the sale price.
Okay. Phew.
Oh, it was all about the fact that they were on sale. My father drinks.
I mean, you got to get that sale.
Dan, I can't even begin to tell you. My father drinks exclusively soda and collects it. We basically have a soda room, like a soda mausoleum. It's just stacked and stacked and stacked. I don't even know. If you went into their house and like looked around at the stuff my dad does, coming to it with fresh eyes, you'd be like, what is this? What's going on? I'd be like, look, man, I don't know what to tell you. This is just the way things go around here. But I got it for him. And then he complained because he said, I didn't want Diet Coke. I wanted Coke Zero. He yelled like at my mother. And she was like, you wrote the list. You literally wrote the words Diet Coke. That's why we got you Diet Coke. He goes, but that's not what I meant. And she was like, but that's what you wrote. And he's like, well, you would have known. And she's like, no, I wouldn't have. I would have gotten you Diet Coke. And he goes, oh, so you're trying to make this my fault. So when I say that I understand the ass on fire Trump illogic situation, like I get it. You know what I mean? Like he sits and he watches Fox all day. So we're putting the no Fox rule back into play.
Yeah, that's going to hold up.
Well, the last time when we were going to come down, he said, well, I'll not. Okay. He agreed to it. And he's like, okay, but I'll agree to it if, and I was like, no, you already agreed to it. You don't get to go back on it. Now, if you want to be someone that doesn't fulfill their promises, that's up to you, but you can't go back on it. We have an agreement that he's allowed to watch it when we're sleeping. So
perfect.
And he's up all night. So like,
fun.
That's, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of like, he gets up at 11 o'clock at night sometimes and just watches TV. So like, it's okay. Yeah. He can watch it while we're sleeping, but he obsessively watches it like all day long if he's awake.
I'm
it's
gonna
really
change the subject.
Sticky. No,
I'm gonna do it because we spent, before we moved into our senior living facility, we spent the night in a Hampton Inn, and we turned on the TV, Maureen, and the Food Network was all Guy Fieri the entire night. They were doing it. They had a new show. I think it's a pretty new show.
What is it?
Where he is the mayor of Flavortown, and they've built a little town.
Shut up.
And they even have extras, Maureen, that just walk around the town. It's like a little idyllic, like Gilmore Girls-esque, like town square. And there are people who just walk by, like pushing a bike or sitting in these little patio like tables, just having a little chat. And then there's a mayor's office, and he comes out and he declares like the theme, like the one we saw, it was Crunch Day in Flavortown. He declared it Crunch Day in Flavortown. And all of the town square, it's ringed by restaurants and food carts. And the game is there are 3 chefs. And they have to answer something, I forget. The person that wins that gets to choose the first restaurant. And each restaurant is themed, right? There's like a sandwich place and a southern food place and hot dog carts and a fine dining place and something else. And so you have to cook in that theme. And then there are, some additional ingredient stuff. It was fantastic.
I'm looking up.
It was so good.
So there was a book that I was obsessed with when I was a little kid. It was a children's book called The 21 Balloons. I just pulled it up because for a while I couldn't find it. I thought I imagined it. And it won the Newbery in 1948. And it's about stories about a retired school teacher whose ill-fated balloon tip leads him to discover Krakatoa, an island full of great wealth and fantastic inventions. And it depicts the 1883.
I remember this
eruption. Yeah. So he lands on this island, and I'm going to read from the Wikipedia on this because it's amazing. Lands on an accident. He's befriended by Mr. F. They all have names that are like A, B, C, D. Mr. F, who's landed on the island of Krakatoa and is populated by 20 families sharing the wealth of a secret diamond mine, by far the richest in the world, which they operate as a cartel. Each year, the families sail to the outside world with a small amount of diamonds to purchase supplies for the hidden and sophisticated civilization they've built on the island. Each family has been assigned one of the 20 letters of the alphabet and lives in its own whimsical and elaborate house that also serves as a restaurant. The Krakatoa Society follows a calendar with 20-day months. On A day of each month, everyone eats in Mr. and Mrs. A's American restaurant. On B days, it's the British Chop House. On C days, it's Mr. and Mrs. C's Chinese restaurant. On D days, it's a Dutch restaurant. Mr. F runs a French replica restaurant containing a replica of the House of Mirrors. So, and there's like the ground wobbles and you can just pick diamonds off the ground, but every family runs a restaurant. And every day they each go to
live in Flavortown.
They live in Flavortown. They each go to a restaurant. I
It
remember
was
being
great.
obsessed with this book and then thinking I imagined it, and then finally finding it was the 21 Balloons.
This is the thing, though. I think that we found a new quest, which is to be extras in Flavortown.
It feels
because they had probably 30 people. They have to stand around. So the show opens. So he declared it Crunch Day in Flavortown. He does it press conference style, and the extras are all kind of surrounding him for that. And then they go about their day. And I just want nothing more now, Maureen, than to be the guy that like pushes the bike down the Flavortown street. That's all I want.
Let's do it, Dan. It's possible.
I think we could pull it off.
I told you that
It
once I
does
was
feel
accidentally
achievable.
the central character of a Food Network episode.
I'm sorry?
I've told this story 100%.
I don't know.
This was a long time ago. And somebody asked me through a friend of a friend, they're like, do you want to be an extra on in the background of a Food Network show? I was like, fuck yeah, I do. And I showed up at the Brooklyn Brewery where it was being shot. And they're like, okay. And it was called it was this guy. It was like a guy who just graduated college and somehow from Yale and was somehow landed a Food Network show and was definitely stoned the whole day. Dave somebody. And
Davey Food Network. Turned out his dad founded the Food Network.
He was some kid from Yale that had done like a food thing and they gave him a show. And they're like, okay, well, you're going to play. And I had looped my friend John in with me. So John came with me. I'm like, let's go. We're going to sit all day and like have food and be extras. He's like, okay. And it turns out we were the only two there. And we were playing Dave's best friends. And then Dave's actual best friend was also made up of three. So it's just me, John, and Dave's actual best friend. And Dave was going to make us a picnic lunch.
Dude, Dave didn't have two other friends. That's so sad.
We just showed up and my friend John looked at me. He's like, what did you do? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I did. I thought it was going to be in the background and we're going to have to play Dave's best friends. And so we shot this episode all day and we played Dave's best friends. We were so we had to like act like, hey, like walk up like you're really happy to see Dave. And we're like, okay, I guess. Dave Food Network.
Oh my God. This is
Brooklyn.
insane.
And we got a tour of the brewery. It took all day.
Yeah.
It was called Good Deal with Dave Lieberman.
Okay.
The episode is called Brewery Picnic. I don't think it's still available. But yeah, it's called Dave's. Yeah, that is the episode.
Wow. I do now remember you telling me this story, but that's a good story.
Yeah. Brewery
Picnic. This should be me and you in Flavortown.
And it was super boring. It was really, really boring.
Being someone else's best friend.
Because we had to keep taking bites.
Yeah.
We made a watermelon. So the food is prepared and it comes out of a cooler and they put it in front of us. And it was a watermelon salad and it was fine. It was watermelon with balsamic vinegar on it. And they're like, okay, take a bite and smile. You're like, ah. They're like, do it again. You're like, ah. Ah. Yeah. So we played Dave's friends. And the whole day, my friend John was whispering to me, I am going to kill you.
I just like that the premise of this show, at some point they're pitching Dave, right? They're like, Dave, you're going to be like a regular guy. You're going to make regular guy food and you're going to share it with your friends. And Dave's like, you can see this little flash across his face when he realizes I don't have any friends.
Yeah, it's just
and he finally sheepishly admits to it. And the producer's like, don't worry, we got this. We don't have to change a thing. It's fine.
It's on Rotten Tomatoes, this episode. Let's see.
It's viewable?
It's on Rotten Tomatoes. But there's nothing on the tomato meter about it. Apparently
he made change that.
Dave packs up fresh tasting, hearty, healthy foods that go well with a picnic at the Brooklyn Brewery. It was season 1, episode 9.
Man,
I can't
Maureen,
believe it.
this is us in Flavor Town. This is an achievable goal.
How is this not available? Everything's available.
No, not
God
everything's
damn it.
available. You know what's not available? Me on the Colbert Report. That's the level of shit that's not available.
See, that's real TV.
That disappeared when Paramount got bought.
Mm-mm.
I want to tell you a story about an achievable goal.
Okay.
So I was in Muncie, Indiana. Muncie, Indiana is a funny place because it's really not anywhere. It's like an hour east of Indianapolis. Still another like 40 minutes or something from the Ohio border. That place punches way above its weight pop culturally. I knew that David Letterman went to Ball State University, which is in Muncie. But I did not know that Bob Ross, the famous Afroed painter of Happy Little Trees fame, filmed all of his shows in Muncie.
Mm.
And then I did not know that Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield,
Yeah.
also went to Ball State and lives in Delaware County, Indiana, still to this day. And I discovered that part because I was walking down the kind of in the downtown Muncie, which is largely parking lots at this point, but still has some very beautiful, like 1890s to 1920s buildings. And in one of them, I was like, that looks like a lot of Garfield in that building. I went and I looked, and it was like the tourist bureau, and they had like tons of Garfield stuff. So I literally like looked up because they were already closed. So I'm like, Garfield, Muncie. And so my mind is suitably blown. I went back the next day when they were open because a 10-year-old loves Garfield. And I was like, I'm going to pick him up some Garfield thing. I ended up not doing it because it was kind of all just the same Garfield junk you can get anywhere. But there was an older woman working the desk, and it was, again, it's in the tourism bureau. So like she is obligated to chat me up, right? And she's like, "Oh, are you just coming through town?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in for the week. I'm doing work on a book." And she's like completely uninterested in that, right? And then is like, "Well, where are you in from?" And I was like, "Chicago." And she was like, "Oh, Chicago.
Oh,
Wow. I've always wanted to go to Chicago. That's one of my bucket list places." Maureen Johnson. It's a 4-hour drive with traffic from Muncie to Chicago. And I was like, "Well, you got to go." She was like, "Yeah, I know. I should get out there. Really want to get out there some point." She's not a young woman.
mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and I just go, "This is an achievable dream. This is a bucket list that you can do." And she was like, "Yeah, I don't know." Here's the thing, Maureen. If you live within 4 hours of a bucket list, just go do it.
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
one run at this. Take a weekend. Go.
One of mine is there's a thing where you can go. It's an all-day tubing thing on the Delaware River.
Okay.
And you go in a big group. It's like a tubing company.
Yeah.
You show up there and you get your tube and you float all day.
Okay.
And then you get to this one point where there's a famous hot dog stand that you stop at, and it's called the Riverman famous hot dog stand.
Okay.
And that's where you stop and have lunch. You can have other things, but like it's this famous hot dog stand that's there. And then you continue tubing all day. And I've always wanted to do it.
Dude, do it. Book it.
I just haven't.
You got to do it.
I know.
Here's the thing. Everyone listen, just do that thing. And think that you're like, "I don't know if I can do it." Just do it. Look at the fucking state of the world. Get it done.
It's true.
Check that one off.
I got to do it.
You
I'm going to do it this summer. I'm committing to it.
All right.
I'm going to do it.
I like a trip to a hot dog stand.
Yeah, you float down the river all day. So it's a big group thing. And then you stop for lunch, and there's the Riverman hot dog stand. Presumably they have something for vegetarians, or you float with your little cooler or something. And then you continue floating, and you just chat and float all day.
When I was in Muncie, I tried multiple days to eat at this barbecue place that is just a pit in somebody's yard called Unk's. Every time I went by, Unk was not there cooking. And I was so upset that I was there for like 5 days and I missed Unk.
When I was 8 till the time I was 10, my father lived in Texas to run a project.
Yeah.
And we would go down to visit him. And I feel like that's when I discovered what food was.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
It was truly like, it changed everything.
Yeah.
I can tell you everything we ate. We used to eat at this restaurant called Nympha's. So I tried like Mexican food for the first time.
Yeah.
Tex-Mex, but also genuine Mexican. We would go to Nympha's. We would go and there was like fresh seafood from the Gulf all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
But there was brisket. There was Texas was what food was all of a sudden. I was like, oh wow, this is the real deal. This is what this is.
Yeah, yeah. Yum.
I can still remember being kind of intoxicated by it. It was just so good.
I have not been. Probably the last time I was in Texas was like 2018 or something. We had brisket out of a joint that smoked them in a old little school bus. Oh, it was good.
I mean, I don't eat meat, but I can tell you I remember it. I remember that brisket.
A Texas smoked brisket is truly one of the world's great bits of food. Unk's I don't think was going to be at that level. Unk's claim to fame was something that he called the meatloaf hot dog, which was...
Dan, if there's one thing it sounds to me like you would end up eating, it's the meatloaf hot dog.
I was ready.
Yeah.
I had cash because Unk's did not seem like the kind of place that was taking a card. I had cash.
Like the place where you
cash specifically.
You barter with shoes. You're like, here's my shoes. Can I have a meatloaf hot dog?
But Unk was never out there. The real
Hidden
disappointment.
Unk?
I mean, the thing is, I'm gonna have to go back. I've got not just for Unk's. I have unfinished work that I need to get done down there. But I need Unk's to be open. Maybe he's only open in the summer.
Writing research trips can be weird and magical. Like when I had to go up to Syracuse, then I drove up to the Thousand Islands.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that place is like a little tiny miracle.
Yeah.
It's so crazy beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, like, yeah.
Why had I never come here before? This is amazing. It feels like a magical storybook land. And it's this giant river that in places looks green like the tropics. And there's little tiny islands that you bounce from island to island. Sometimes you're in Canada, sometimes you're in the US, doesn't matter. And you heard about like, they used to like chase bootleggers. They do like island to island races and kids go to work on jet skis. Like it's crazy.
It was really great. Like the thing that was most vivid to me, and again, like most of what was in Muncie in the 20s is gone, right? A lot of the buildings downtown have been knocked down. A lot of the houses are gone. Like it's a place that's seen better days for sure. But just being able to say like this empty lot was this address, where George Dale lived for a while. Okay, now if I walk down this street, okay, well that's where City Hall was. It's like, just being able to actually spatially orient yourself in a way that no amount of book learning will do.
When I wrote The Name of the Star, which is about someone recreating the murders of Jack the Ripper, did a lot of research, but I wasn't satisfied. I did the tours, I did everything until I could walk the path of all those things without aid of a phone or any directions.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah.
I had to actually know myself without any assistance.
Yeah.
For example, there's Hanbury Street. There's a house that's no longer there. The Hanbury Street house. It's the last house that's not there. This house, the last murder This was very terrible. That street was so bad they ripped the street out.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was so horrific. So that street is like the back end of like a parking lot for basically semis that bring in like food supplies.
Yeah.
So I had to know that if you looked through this one bit of fencing, you would see where
Totally.
where the house had been. And but I'm very map oriented, but also very on the ground oriented until I've
totally.
walked up and down the street a lot and felt it in my bones.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't feel like I can write about it.
Yeah, that was me exactly. This was so, one of the people that I talked to is a historian. And like one of the things that's amazing when you talk to historians is how much they can just conjure in their head. Like they don't have to look shit up. They're just like, oh yeah, this. That. Talked to two different historians, one of whom her whole thing was buildings. And it was wild because she could be like, oh yeah. And what year? 1925. Yeah. Okay. So on the corner would have been this and on that corner would have been that. And it's amazing. But anyway, I was talking to this other historian. He was like, yeah, one thing I feel like I haven't seen people talk about is at the corner of, South Madison and whatever. My grandma used to tell me that she would watch the Klan do parade training there. Like they would march around in this empty lot. And I was like, whoa, really? And he's like, yeah, they'd like burn crosses and do their little parades there. It's like their parade grounds essentially. And I was like, wow, that's fucking wild. Okay. Like I hadn't seen any reference to that, but like I fully trust him and his grandma. And so like I said, I went down to Indianapolis, was like, I need to somehow purge these fucking ghosts that I've been digging up all day in the Klan archives. So I went to that corner, and what was at that corner?
What?
A Burger King. So I fucking had dinner on the fucking former parade grounds of the Klan.
In a Burger King.
Bacon Whopper with cheese and some fries and an orange Fanta. And I fucking spat on the ground.
I've seen the Klan March.
Yeah. You've seen the Klan March, but you have not seen the Klan March in the 20s.
No, absolutely not. I'm just saying, like, I have seen it.
Yeah.
What a bunch of clowns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The clowniest.
Oh, just the worst. But that was also when they had a bunch of neo-Nazis with them. And my friend and I, largely my friend, but he's a strong guy. We started throwing ice balls at them, and then they started to chase us, and we had to run away.
Good job. Always throw the ice ball.
Always throw the ice ball at the neo-Nazis, but then have like an exit strategy. If you are if you are hiding behind the dumpsters at the Roy Rogers looking at the little neo-Nazis, and your friend says, let's throw ice balls at them, and you start throwing ice balls at them, and then they turn and chase you.
Yeah.
Remember to have your like little swipe card at the ready as you're slipping and sliding over the ice to run away, so that you know what building to get to, because you can get into a building and they can't.
Nice.
And if they catch you, they are going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
So.
You got away?
Oh yeah, Dan. I mean, they could have, kicking my ass would have been a trivial matter. But I will say I don't know how, I'm not really a fighter, but I'm weird and scrappy. So like, who knows what, I may have been like a weird cat at the vet that was like, just, running down the street. That's also when I tried to jump over the riot fencing to stand in front of the Klan. And the cops that had been brought out to stand every 10 feet were just like, just go back over the fence. Don't make us like.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. They're like, even they were like, these guys are fucking idiots. It's not worth it. We won't arrest you. Just go back.
Well, on that note, I got to wrap it a little bit early. I have so many things in my day today, and I am dying. So I'm going to wrap a little bit early, folks. Apologies. We will be back to normal everything next week.
And we'll know all the news.
Maybe. Don't know if I'll be fully caught up by then.
All
but anyway,
the news.
Point is,
I'll be in
SaysWho
Philly
is
probably.
fun. Fun. I get to see those little novelty buildings.
Oh yeah, and I'll probably have a big smile on my face because I'll have been there for
you always
6
have a great
days
time
at that point.
You'll be when do you go?
Thursday morning.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure which day I'm coming back. I should plan my exit strategy.
Yeah, you need to have a leave date.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, maybe it's Friday. Arrive Thursday, leave Friday. Anyway, this episode of Says Who is brought possible. I'm really tired. This is the thing. Do you know that feeling, Maureen, when you haven't done normal things for a while?
Absolutely.
And then you do a normal thing and you're like, oh, I'm a lot worse off than I think. This is what this whole recording situation has been, where I'm like, well, fine. But now I realize I'm not fine.
2 weeks down with pneumonia and then directly into a book deadline. And I didn't really go out for 4 weeks. And then I went out for the first time and I just wouldn't stop talking.
Yeah.
I was like, hi, how are you? What do you do? What's this? Can I touch it? Are these your papers? You're so pretty. These are nice lights. That smells good. Do I go in there? It was a lot.
Yeah. Well, it is brought to you by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That's where pretty much every Sunday, starting right back up, not this weekend, but next, you get the Town Watch. If you give it the $5 or $10 a month level, that $10 a month level also gets you a sticker. God damn it, every month, no matter what, from me.
Even if it kills him.
This one was a crazy turnaround. Anyway, patreon.com/sayswho. Our theme music was performed by Ted Leo. Our logo was designed by Darth. Thank you, Darth. You can always contact us at SaysWhoPodcast.com on Blue Sky, at SaysWho at omfg.town on Mastodon. You can always email it. Hey, that's HEY at SaysWhoPodcast.com. I'm doing this off the top of my head, so apologies if I get all of this shit wrong because my eyes are closed and I'm drifting off to sleep. But our Facebook group, you can always go to facebook.com/group/SaysWhovians. Facebook group is moderated by Janice Dillard. Thank you, Janice. There's also a fan-run Discord server at tinyurl.com/sayswho Discord. Whatever you do, subscribe, leave stars and reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever it is that you listen. And you can join us next Wednesday, which is in the month of April. That's all I know. And we'll see you then from this elderly's home. I'm Dan Sinker.
And I, Maureen Johnson. And remember, don't light your own ass on fire.
And this has been Says Who.
Imagine seeing that trail of smoke coming up. Just like, is that?
I don't understand why his ass was flammable.
Because of the packing. The bandages caught fire. What did you think was happening?
I don't know. I just rolled with it.
Yeah, you did. No, it was an ember from the cigarette that kind of bounced back up and caught the packing. So the bandages were on fire, Dan. Literally, he had caused a fire, so he had flames, smoke. That guy must have been like, I am an idiot.
Woof.
I told you. It's a good parable.